Station Gang, welcome back to another installment of Ink and Insights, your weekly comic book highlight show where me and E break down our favorites from Marvel, DC, Image, and the Indies. As always, it's so good to see the chat popping already. Hope everybody's having a great week, a great Wednesday. E, my brother, how are you doing, man? Good to see you again.
I'm doing great, man. I think we had a really, really awesome conversation where I was totally exposed to being the worst possible collector, right? Because my collection's out of control. But man, I'm glad to be here with you. I'm glad to be here with all the beautiful people in the chat tonight here, and I can't wait to talk about a couple of these comics in particular. All of them, but a couple really stand out.
Man, we got a great lineup this week, dude. I'm super excited. So many bangers. So, yeah, dude. But how you been? Good? Good week so far?
Yeah. Good week. Good Wednesday. I dropped into the shop. Got my weekly comics here.
Nice. Everything was there?
No.
Oh, man.
I think you already knew this, man. I've been really hyped.
I know.
We've all been really hyped about this new Jesse Lonergan book that's coming out of Rome, and it dropped today. It's a small publisher though, and my shop didn't get it. I will get it eventually. But man, I really wanted to just dive into that and get it going tonight. But I'll be patient. I'll exercise that patience, man.
Yeah, bro. If y'all haven't put in an order for that one yet already, please do so, man. Support Jesse, incredible artist.
Yes.
But yeah, dude, let's check out the chat real quick before we get into the show's business, dude. We got Bob in the house. Bob, man, thanks, dude. Good to see you again, bro. Thanks for coming back, dude. Hell yeah. Welcome back. Omega in the building. What up, brother? Station. Good to see you. We got Zero in the building, our contest winner from last night. Zero, what up?
Yeah, Zero. Make sure you hit me up. Let me know the deets so I can get those books out to you.
I read Absolute Batman so I can listen to the discussion. We're not talking about it tonight, man. Maybe next week. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. It's discussion worthy. I could say that much.
It is. Clayman, little art switch up. Big swerve after what? Last issue, big swing, we'll say.
Yeah.
James Phelps in the building. James, what up, brother?
Yes.
Good to see you. Hell yeah. Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you. Bobo, Station. What up, man? Good to see y'all. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Oh, we got Gabe in the building. What up, man? Station.
Nice. Great seeing you, man.
Yeah. Up at Adam. Station, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you.
That's a great name, by the way.
Yeah, I love that. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Oh, man, dude. The Benosian covers.
Yeah.
All day. We got one tonight. Can't wait to feature it. Man, lovely chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank y'all for coming through and spending time with us. But yeah, man, real quick, before we get into comics, I wanted to talk about Alien Earth on Hulu. Just dropped its third episode. So you guys definitely make sure you're checking the show out. I think it's incredible. Great storytelling. I like how it kind of expands on the mythos. To me, this other company and this boy Cavalier, this Wonder Kid, is new lore. Is that correct?
That new to me, yeah. Okay. Weyland-Yutani was always the company, right? The only big bad, and now we got like Prodigy. A cavalcade of them, right? Yeah.
So, and it's the spaceship has crashed into this building. They have collected alien specimens from deep in space, and basically it becomes a bioweapons arms race. Everybody's racing to collect these specimens and get their hands on them first for their own ends. Is the basic setup. We have cyborg on cyborg action. A lot of robots in this one, which I love. I'm here for.
Dude, that was definitely one way to put it for sure, but I think it's a little bit less spicy than you made it out to be. But then again, I haven't seen episode 3, so who knows?
Yeah, no, it's not. Come on, man, get your mind out of the gutter. But I've always loved that representation, whether it's Fassbender or what's his name? Oh man,
Ian Holm, Lance Henderson.
Yeah, absolutely. So like it's always been a favorite part of the the canon and the series for me. So I've really enjoyed that part of it. But I think the horror element is really present, and I really love that. And like the sound is beautiful. The design on the alien that we get is tremendous. These other little creatures that they're introducing are super cool. I've just been enjoying the hell out of it. And they also have this, personal story that they're weaving through all of it. And, this, family that's been separated by the horror of living in this modern world under the shadow of these corporations where they kind of, do whatever they want with you. It's been really, intriguing and I've loved it so far. So just your thoughts through, I know you haven't seen the third episode. I did watch that one today, but your thoughts through the first two, dude.
Ooh, when it was announced, like, first of all, my history with the Alien franchise is that before the MCU, before Lord of the Rings, before everything, the franchise of all franchises for me was Aliens, even above and beyond Star Wars for me. I had a love for Star Wars, but it was a trilogy and it was one and done at that point. But the Alien movies, man, like, I think it was probably my first fear of any movie, like, ever. I just remember hearing things from my bedroom, my parents renting Alien 3 from Blockbuster and hearing some of the things that were taking place. And it just like filled me with fright in a big bad way. And it fueled that kind of love though later on, because I was like, all right, I got to tackle this. I got to tackle this beast that is the Alien franchise. And it is, I even love the bad ones. Do I love them as much as, the best of the best, the cream of the crop? No, but I still find like some joy out of them. So when this was announced, I had trepidation because I don't know how you're going to do Alien in a TV realm, right? That's going to be pretty difficult. But then you throw Noah Hawley's name on top of that, the dude that was behind the Fargo series, which totally killed it, and Legion, the TV show, which was like, you take the comic book aspect out of that, and that was just a trippy experience and a great, like, really concise, series that they were able to put out there. His name being behind, I was like, maybe there's a shot to this. Maybe this could be good. And 2 episodes, I'm only 2 in. There's only one gripe I have, but otherwise, it is like damn near perfect. Like, it is so close to being a perfect TV show, man.
Hell yeah. What are your thoughts on the alien, dude? Because it looks like they have somebody in a bodysuit for some of these shots, like scurrying across the floor. But it's beautifully rendered. Like, I love it. And it's menacing. Like the up close personal shots are just like always spot on. So what's been your thoughts on the creature element, not just the alien, but the other ones too?
So I love it. So yeah, the xenomorph itself, I love it because the timeline of events that this movie takes place in is, I think it's like somewhere between 10 and 2 years before the events of the first Alien movie, the original Ridley Scott one, right? So it's even before Sigourney Weaver has her run-in with it. So I feel like, so yes, it is very clearly a dude in a bodysuit, but not in a bad way. I feel like they still did it in a way that looks creepy, looks menacing. They play with the camera angles a lot, or the bokeh, right? Like when things are in the back and you can't necessarily make out what's going on. They play with that a lot. And I think it's honoring the fact that that movie was originally made in the late 70s and it was a dude in a suit. Like, that's exactly what it was. And that movie is still creepy as hell too. So it looks really good. Aliens though.
No, go ahead.
So good.
Yeah,
so good.
All right, so so we had like the bloodsucker, right, which is like
Yep.
the tiny little leech that kind of inches along, makes its way and can like leap on you. Then we had the eyeball thing, which was like, I think my favorite of the bunch, right?
Yeah.
And clearly, like, I can't tell if it's the eyeballs psychic effects on the like the cyborg or whatever, or just that girl's just like tripping out. But just like, I love the like when she was having the flashbacks of the attack. And it was cool because I just love the infancy of those robots going in there, right? Like, it was like bad shit crazy because they were, and I love like that how they were scared and like so untrained, and it was wild as hell. And it was like, but it was weird how quickly they adapted and, like, I guess felt more and more comfortable. It was just really well done. I thought it was wild.
Yeah, and to not get too deep into spoilers, but to at least provide some kind of context for what we're talking about. The main players in this series are there's a name for them. They're not synthetics. They're not the artificial humans like Ash and Bishop and like Code and all the people that we've gotten in the past. They are basically they were children who were terminally ill, whose
Right.
consciousness was placed into a cyborg being. So they still have the consciousness of a human, but they're in that cyborg body. So there's a delicate balance there. And I gotta say, every single one of the actors that plays that part, it could be so cringy. It easily could because adults playing children rarely works, and it does. It works so well. The actors that are doing this, like they're just striking that right balance between like they're a little bit naive, but they're not idiots, for lack of a better term. They're childlike, but they're totally not leaning into like, oh, I'm just gonna bumble around and be it. Like, no, they find that perfect way to strike what needs to happen for the characterization of each one of them. And I think that's what's really making it work really well for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't want to ruin it, but that continues to be a focal point in the third episode in a really interesting way that I think you'll enjoy.
Ooh,
But
okay.
dude, Timothy, who's been your favorite performance so far? Timothy Oliphant, like I thought has been incredible. I saw this great interview clip where he's talking about how much his wife hated his eyebrows during the film because he's all slim shaded out. But yeah, dude, he's been fantastic. I think the young guy who plays like the Wonder Kid has been great. But I don't know, man. So many strong performances. Who's been your favorite?
Dude, yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Timothy Olyphant because even as the cyborg, right? Like he's such a charming character and he's a really good actor, so it
He
helps
is.
out quite a bit. Yeah, the Wonder Kid, right? Is he has like a Willy Wonka
He
almost kind of like
does.
appeal to like him. Like you kind of want to like him because he's like just full of energy, right? And like bravado over how excited he is over what he's doing, for the world. But there's a tinge of like, uh-oh, behind everything that he does.
Dude, like that scene when like the scene when he's on the phone with Waylon Yutani and he's just like on the bed with his feet up, like
Yeah.
on the screen. So carefree, like a 13-year-old. It's hilarious.
Exactly. But I mean, but if I had to pick someone, I think our main character, the main girl that is kind of leading their troop to find her brother,
Mhm.
who, by the way, I didn't realize this. She has a look to her, and I'm like, I've seen her in something. I definitely know that I've seen her somewhere, somehow, and I definitely have not. I looked on IMDb, but she is Kyle Chandler's daughter, the guy that's going to be playing Hal
Oh
Jordan in the
wow.
new Green Lantern, Coach Taylor from Friday Night
Yeah, yeah.
Lights. Like, yeah. So
Godzilla.
yeah, Godzilla. So like, I guarantee if you didn't know that and you go back and watch it, you're gonna go, "Oh, well, yeah." Now it's so obvious because that's
For
exactly
sure.
the like reaction I had. I was like, "Yeah, now I totally see it."
Dude, and I remember her brother from that unforgettable Black Mirror episode. If you know, you know, where like he gets caught looking at porn and like the guy basically like hijacks his life and blackmails him into doing like robbing a bank and beating the dude, like fighting the dude to the death and
Whoa.
stuff like that and all this stuff. Yeah, and it turns out in the end that he was looking at child porn. Like it's like this wild ass twist at the end. Yeah, it's one of those Black Mirror episodes that never leaves you, dude. But he's incredible in it. He plays the kid, and it's just like it's such a great performance that it just kind of marks him for me. Like
Uh-oh.
every time I see him, it just like for good or for bad, because
Well,
it's just such a wild character. Like and it's
well,
such a crazy
yeah.
story.
It's funny that you bring that up because we're talking about the Alien franchise and Alien Earth, but I have the same exact reaction whenever I see Paul Reiser in anything. Paul Reiser famously being the company man from Weyland Yutani
Yeah,
and Aliens. I don't care how much Mad About You he was in back in the day. The dude is always going to be the jerk that locked them all in there with the face huggers and was out there to get them, get the aliens implanted in them so he can bring them on back to Earth. So no, Paul Reiser.
for
I will
sure,
never
dude.
trust you, sir.
Get him out of here. But yeah, go see or go watch this this amazing series, guys. 3 episodes in so far on Hulu and Disney Plus and all that good stuff. Let's get to the chat real quick before we get into our comics, bro.
Yes, sir.
Omega watched it. Hell yeah, bro. The Peter Pan vibe is too fitting. I love that. I love how they play it across the ceiling when they're doing the operations and beautiful.
And they even refer to her as Wendy Darling, which was the name of the
Yes.
character, Wendy Darling. So yeah.
Renaming all the kids. Yeah, they're faithful with it. Yeah, thanks, dude. Hell yeah, station, bro.
Vote for
Edson
Stu.
in the building.
Dude,
What up, bro?
been a second. Nice seeing you, man.
Hell yeah. Hope you're doing well. Production is great. It's been
Dude.
like the sets that they have going through this busted up spaceship has been like all the sparks shooting out and everything. It's been like every set has been incredible.
The ship looks identical to the 1970, I think it was 1979 version, right? The one that Ridley Scott had. Oh my God.
Especially when they're boarded from the outside, like it's that great shot. I love that when they're like, and it's been ripped open. They're like, what the fuck did this?
Yeah.
Dude, the eyeball one is fantastic. So good. It's so good watching those people get either drained or, carved from the inside. Yeah.
Can you tell that Stu is a regular on Blood Splatter Chatter? Is it very obvious now?
Nothing beats a good death, dude. Yeah. I think they renamed all the kids after the characters in the book or whatever. Oh yeah. Christina, Station.
Yes.
Mad about you, hell yeah.
I can't trust him. I can't.
What is up, Christina? How are you? Y'all go vote for Christina as well for community builder.
Absolutely.
Always big up and everybody. Make sure you guys give Christina your vote. CBCawards.org, guys. Was when the baby alien put the top in. That was amazing. That was really like a switch up I was not ready for.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
Jumping in and out of the glass like a goldfish. That was beautiful. All right. I guess we can talk about some comic books, huh?
Yeah. Why not? They're only like really, really freaking good.
Yeah. All right, bro. We're gonna start with a banger. Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum by the Ice Cream Man team, guys. W. Maxwell Prince, Martín Morazzo. This one was everything we could have wanted and more. It really was definitely my favorite comic of the week, one of my favorites of the year. This one was, somehow unexpected for me. I was kind of asleep on this one coming, so it was just such a. Were you ready for this one, E?
No, funny story behind that. I'm a Wednesday warrior. We talk about this all the time, and I didn't have this on my pull list, and me and Nick were talking back and forth in the back chats, and I was just like, do I need this in the PC? Like, is this something I can just read, and not have to burden my collection with it? And I was like, fine, I'll pick it up. And it took me 3 minutes to send him, a message back going, I'm so wrong. I was so incredibly wrong. He's the entire time he's like, what are you thinking? Are you serious right now? You're not going to get this? Nick was right.
Great. That's good. That's what friends are for. Like you came through for what was it, Electric Assassin for him once upon a time?
I got that. I got that notch that I can still retain. Yes.
So he came through for Kryptonite Spectrum, dude. But yeah, this was amazing. It had, it definitely felt like a Prince Morazzo book in all the best ways, though. It was like they didn't sacrifice their aesthetic or the story that they wanted to tell. And it, I don't know how long this had been cooking or gestating, but this seemed beautifully realized. It seemed like I think we've all talked in the back chat about All-Star Superman and how it echoes that in so many ways. Not only with Morazzo, obviously his line work with Quietly and all the echoes there, but the funny quirky, weird scary, dangerous, and like profound message that this is able to pull off in just like one issue's length. Um, and like a beautiful little self-contained story that, and like with each specimen of kryptonite, we're gonna, get a different one of these. And I think that's such a beautiful setup, and they're going to work so well within those confines. And I don't know, man. This one just spoke to me on so many levels. So yeah, let's get into the story real quick. We start off. Superman is retrieving, a meteorite with the help of his super bots. What did you think of the super bots? Right, they're just. I love how they're just kind of like the emblem, right?
Oh, yeah.
With arms and legs. It felt
why
so
overcomplicate it,
yes,
like
it felt so appropriate. And this meteorite has all these different types of kryptonite on it. Also, one of the other parts of this is Lex, dude. Lex is incredible in this, and I just love quoting Yates and setting Grundy loose, and like all the elements. He felt like the best villain for this creative team to implement this. I know everybody leans on Lex, but especially the first time I saw him, I couldn't help but see echoes of that Ice Cream Man smirk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just felt everything about him. It was just beautiful. Especially with the parts with the Grundy. But he's immediately, on top of the meteorite. He knows it's there, and he wants to get his hands on it as well. Batman calls. I'm sorry. Supes calls Batman. Who else to get help? And Bats is in the middle of dealing with Professor Pig. Dude, how great was this page?
That was immediately what told me that this was going to be something special. Was that and like you talked about All-Star Superman? Who was the team behind that? Grant Morrison, Frank Whiteley. We see Batman taking on Professor Pig. Who introduced that character? Grant Morrison, Frank Whiteley. Like, come on. Like, you can tell, the level of inspiration looms large over this issue. And
Professor Pig saying, I took too much Seroquel this morning, and now the circus is ringing in my mind. Like, I was like geeked out right there reading that line. But you had real quick, let me get to it. Sorry. You had it's the little things you wanted to talk about with this panel.
I do. I couldn't help but chuckle over Batman looking like he pulled a hammy throwing that kick right there, man. I love the way that Morazzo conveys him as being realistically athletic. It's a very human approach he's taken. That's the kind of pose that you made with one of your action figures, as opposed to like what you got maybe from Clayman in today's Absolute Batman. Totally different approach here, and I really, really loved it. I don't know why it made me chuckle so much on a page that was full of chuckle-worthy things, even though it gave a lot of levity to the storyline that we were going to get here, and I really loved that it was a tone setter right out the jump.
Yeah, this was the one that hooked me in. Like him this is like the perfect dichotomy between Bats and Supes right here. Him, I could really use your help with the fortress. And meanwhile, Professor Pig's in the background, like, bring me back to the farm. I'm going to dunk my head into a trough of fentanyl.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I meant to include it, but it was a little bit too late to the party. But hold on, let me go back one. This little some pig Charlotte's Web illustration down there at the thought bubble was one of my favorite parts of the comic. I just thought that was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I also love the batarang stuck in the Dalatron's mask. All right, so Bruce shows up, and together they take a look at all these different types of kryptonite that they've retrieved. We got purple, cobalt, speckled, and rainbow K. They have no idea what any of these is going to do to him. Of course, he's always we got what is it, red, green, black, and what was the other one that they already had established? There's four that have already been established in this.
Yeah, it's escaping me now. Right, you got most of them though.
Oh yeah, gold. Sorry, gold.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, he wants Bats to expose. He doesn't trust anybody else other than Bruce to expose him to these different types of kryptonite and, you know, see what the effects are on him. So they strap him in for, you know, testing, and they get to work with Purple here. This immediately starts to alter his, you know, it feels like assorted crisis events, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In the best way.
Right. So he starts to like perceive time in all sorts of, you know, different jumbled up ways. And this is like what we're talking about, like when you say Morrisonian, like in the best way here. And also like such a brilliant you know, pass from, you know, Prince Morazzo. This feels like, you know, right in their wheelhouse. Like it feels so perfect. Like it was such, you know, the bizarre encounter with Professor Pig starting it off, but then this, like with the testing, and we started to get it. And I love when he starts to like see Lois, and she's telling him that, you know, she's getting older and that her chances of having a child are running out. But, you know, eventually, while he's being exposed to this kryptonite, Lex lets Grundy loose and Metropolis, and they have to go handle the situation. But, you know, the fight is a jumbled up mess for Soups, and he's trying to do the right thing. But this was, you know, it's brilliantly put together and you know, composed and paced. It's time all out of sorts.
And that's the crazy thing, is that you're absolutely right. It's paced extraordinarily well, and it's got to be really difficult to do that, knowing that the concept of this issue is playing with time and Superman's perception of time, because it's not necessarily that time is different. He's just experiencing time. He's experiencing different times within real time, and that's I don't know how you do that, and I don't even know how you come up with that kind of thing. But that's the magic of Prince right there.
For sure. And it's like it's insane when he's like, you know, saving girls from falling lampposts and, you know, knocking Grundy into the upper atmosphere. It's incredible, like you said, like how he's able to put it together. But luckily, like Bruce, even though he gets in the fight and he gets beat up, he's able to, you know, kind of help his buddy navigate himself through this. And it was beautifully rendered here on this page. I love like when we put it all together and we finally saw the fight in sequential form. But like I said, we saw each of these panels out of place and out of time, and also moments in his personal life. And I like when, like, one of the first things he went up to Bruce or whatever, and Batman's like, I think my shoulder's dislocated.
Yeah. Yeah. And that Solomon Grundy, born on a Tuesday. I remember reading that going, like, it takes you a while. It's like an experience for the reader as well. As you're trying to unravel the mystery, like, okay, cool, what did this kryptonite do? Because Batman doesn't just come out and say it, and Superman can't really figure it out himself right away because he's dealing with the effects of it. It's a really cool experience having everything unravel and getting little bits and clues.
I love moments like this because it's like you get to this page right here and you kind of figured out what was going on, but you didn't like get the total vision of it. And then to see it like fully realize like this is dope, because it always makes you go back. You go back and you like, oh, that moment was there, and oh man, that's dope how they put that there, and then turned around and did that. Like I don't know. I love it, man. One of my favorite things about sequential storytelling, like you said.
Yeah. We had a lot of conversation just last night about readability of comics and keeping things in your collection that you'll return to. This is infinitely readable. This is something that I can already tell I will be, you know, going back to and really diving into it. So
without a doubt, out of continuity, out of time, just its own thing, and it already feels timeless. You know what I mean? And it's so. What I love about it, I think the most, is it feels so true to the relationship between these two dudes. You know what I mean? But it's also uniquely Prince and Morazzo in the best ways. Like it truly is Ice Cream Man infused. I hate to keep saying that, but it you know, like that when I saw it first Timber Lois, I was like, oh fuck.
It's Ice Cream Superman. That's what it is, right? But like, hopefully this is like a gateway for people who aren't reading Ice Cream Man, that like superhero books, to really explore Ice Cream Man. Because if you enjoyed what you got here, and you're okay with a horror tinge or like a little bit of a darker sense of humor, maybe, then guys, like, come on. W. Maxwell Prince, Martín Morazzo, like they're going to be your new best friends.
Oh yeah. So we got Cobalt up next, bro, and he's turning into a giant. So
do you have any? So we kind of see what Cobalt is going to be doing, or maybe, possibly. Do you have any speculation?
I can't wait on the no. That's the thing. I don't even want to guess. You know what I mean? It's like I like that. I like the idea of him getting big, but I'm sure they're going to flip it in some super amazing way that I don't see coming. So
yeah, something tells me that Rainbow K might involve strobe lights and pacifiers.
Rainbow K is going to be nuts.
I have a theory.
Strobe lights and pacifiers.
I'm just saying, you got a name like Rainbow K. I feel like there's a rave that's going to be involved.
Exactly. That sounds like a party I went to in like 03, bro, for sure.
Yes, exactly.
Love Batman's arm in the sling here, though. And just fantastic job by the team all throughout, man. Beautiful art, great storytelling, great writing, excellent characterizations, fun action. I don't know. Good mind trip. What else do you want? He had a great it's the little things. We got old pulling handy Batman up here, swinging kicks around. So.
Yeah, and he's complaining about his shoulder. But come on, you throw a kick like that, you're going to be hobbling around a little bit.
Amen. Let's get to the chat real quick before we move on to our next book of the night. Where did I leave off? Sorry, let me just try to catch back up.
It's a good problem to have. I love it when I got to catch up on the chat.
Oh, that's insane. Hell yeah. Coming through. Always good to see you, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we already got to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a nice story. All right. Yeah, fair enough, dude. Definitely highly recommend it. Or wait for that collected. I know this one definitely slipped under the radar for me as well, Gabe. So yeah, not mad at you. Absolutely, dude. They operate really well within the space. You got to get it, Fizzo. You got to get it, bro. Oh, yeah, good to see you.
We only recommend the cream of the crop.
Oh, yeah. This book was amazing.
Yeah, totally.
It does in certain parts. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I would. I don't know if it's like the best book to like. What do you have? Would you say yes?
I would say yes, and I did say yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know, man. I think there's better books to like recommend for somebody coming out of the movie who hasn't read a Superman comic before who wants to read one.
Are there better? Yes. But could I recommend this to someone and still feel totally okay with it? Absolutely. Yeah,
for sure. For sure. It is. It is very accessible. Absolutely. All right. All right. Hell yeah. Vern in the building station, bro. What is up? Good to see you, man.
Waiting for Vern's breakdown of Alien Earth, man. I'm anxious to see that. Come on.
Guys, I'm on Blood Splatter Chatter tomorrow night, 9 for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I know before watching it for the first time and reviewing it with the fellas. I cannot wait. So please come check us out. I cannot wait. It's going to be excellent. And it's our Horror Fest kickoff. So
you talk, is it the OG or is this the remake?
The OG, bro. We're not playing any games.
Okay. Hey,
back up. All right. Pete, what up, bro? All good, man. We appreciate you making the time and saying what up. Just y'all doing that makes a difference. So appreciate y'all coming through and saying what up. Hell yeah. It was amazing, Jay. It was amazing. Jay, I know you're a Superman guy. What did you think? And Jay, would you recommend it for somebody coming out of the Superman movie? Let us know in the chat. Hell yeah.
Yeah, the personification between them, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, bro. Let's move on. I'm gonna let you take the next one. We are gonna go.
There we go. Got it.
Oh no. Hold on. I was gonna let you do Space Ghost next.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna jump around here. Oops,
yeah.
spoilers. All
Sorry.
right.
I should have meant to.
Space Ghost, volume 2, number 1 by David Pepose and Jonathan Lau. Guys, are we dealing with the best superhero comic on stands right now? The most pure distilled version of a superhero comic right now? I would argue yes, we are with Space Ghost. It still blows my mind how good of a comic this is, because I think that most of us could probably feel safe in saying that our exposure to Space Ghost was Space Ghost Coast to Coast, right? Not a serious thing whatsoever, a silly, fantastical talk show on Cartoon Network. Not what you're getting here whatsoever. Great continuation of what we got from volume 1, where we really got to establish the relationship. Well, Space Ghost saving the children, right? Jan and Jace, developing that relationship, having some hard moments, right? But really kind of like, forging those relationships in the fire, and having building the trust in, in them,
Yeah.
and them and him. Really great stuff. And it serves dual purposes. This is a really fantastic jumping on point. You can get this issue and not have to read the previous volume, but trust me, after you read this, you're going to want to, because it's just that kind of good. The whole premise of this issue is that basically Space Ghost is out having his super heroic adventure, right? He's taken on one of his silly villains here, the toy maker. All the while, though, while he's doing this and going through the motions of, taking on the bad guy and doing his stuff, it's all footing back to the children, Jan and Jace. And now they've been introduced, now that they're no longer on the run from this company that was really out to get them. Now they're introduced to this character who is revealed to be their grandfather, and their parents are gone, right? And he kind of says that he's going to take over and be their caretaker, being the only other true family that they have. And throughout the entire issue, we kind of ping pong back and forth between Space Ghost doing his thing, taking on the toy maker, and having fun with that. And it's kind of cool. They kind of do it in a real Batman 66 kind of way, but in a more serious tonal way, but having the fun kind of hijinks that go along with that. Space Ghost is doing his thing, and you keep bouncing back and forth. And the children, particularly Jan, is talking about that relationship that I talked about was forged so strongly within the first volume of this book, and what Space Ghost means to them, and how he was there for them in the times where nobody else could have. He saved their lives and gave them their lives purpose. And she's kind of doing this in a way to say, all right, Gramps, like, you may be family, but I don't know you and I don't respect you. Here's what we went through with that dude who didn't know anything about us and saved our lives. So what are you going to bring to the table? It's really great. And that's why it was a perfect jumping on point, because you really get a lot of what volume 1 delivered in a really concise way with this one issue to basically catch you back up. So I gotta ask you though, what did you think of the issue, man? Well, like, what was your experience?
I thought it was fantastic, dude. I think it's like you said, it's been super dope that the fact that he's established the Jan and Jace's characters, this relationship that they've all developed through this first, I guess, volume of the series, as it were. And it's awesome to see it get a reboot, come back again. And I got to shout out, what is his name? Jonathan Lau?
Jonathan Lau, dude.
Dude, doing incredibly diligent and consistent work, across the board on the series.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Pepose is doing, I think what he does in this issue is what he's done great throughout the series, is balance emotion, these relationships, what we want to see out of that, keeping us invested, progressing that along, but also like giving us action. He always finds us the way to give us kick-ass action every week. We've had great fights. All the enemies, like feel like he brought out everybody.
Yeah.
The first round. So yeah, I loved it, dude. I think it's been, for somebody like me coming from an Adult Swim knowledge of the character and very basic stuff, it's been incredible. And I love the way it blends that retro Batman 66, like you said, that vibe. Like, I feel like I'm watching Johnny Quest with my mom again, when I'm reading this comic, and like
Yes.
that's a great feeling. So yeah, I think it checks a lot of boxes. It's a book that's accessible to a wide age range. You know, I could give this book to my kids or enjoy it on my own. So yeah,
Yeah.
love it, man.
Yeah. They do a great job on this. And it's like we talked about. I'm glad that you agree on that Batman 66 thing, which is a hard thing to describe because the best way I can really say it is that it's got the vibes of that. It doesn't have the tone of that. Like it never takes itself silly or campy. It will not do that. Everything is played very seriously, but they're not afraid to have fun with the things they're doing either. So it's I don't know. They're not punching down to try to be to kind of take on that silliness. It just kind of is like this effortless flowing thing that happens throughout the series, knowing that it originated as an Alex Toth creation in an
Exactly.
silly time.
That retro futurism is like always
Yeah.
present with it. You know what I mean? Like I love
Yeah,
that.
totally. Yeah,
Um,
it's a incredible issue though. Great reintroduction to this character, and I got to give kudos to Dynamite. Like, I mean, for real, like Dynamite has been putting this book out consistently. They're giving people like David Pepose the reins on it, and they're putting out. Again, I said this is the best superheroic book on stands. I stand on that. I will stand by that through and through. It's kind of a crazy thought, but that's the way I feel.
facts. And a bunch of great covers. Those Michael Cho covers have been crazy.
Maybe too many covers, but a lot of great covers. Yes.
So many covers.
so
many
it
covers,
is a Dynamite
bro.
book.
I'm not mad at the relaunch. Do we know how long this is going? I can look it up real quick, but
well, if you don't
it-
mind looking it up here, what I can
I
speak
got
towards
you.
the relaunch because a lot of times I don't dig on relaunches, especially when the same creative team is on here. What I like about this is it's almost being treated like seasons of television shows, and I think that that's being very intentional. They told an arc. Now it's not relaunching; it's a continuation, but it's like, okay, now here's the beginning of our second arc. Here's the next part of our storyline, and if they continue to do it in this way, where you don't need to have read everything previously, that's going to be a really successful model. If you can tell anyone, where do you pick up Space Ghost? Here you go. Number one, what volume? Doesn't matter. That's a really cool experience. You're right. And if they dig it, then you can say, oh, you like that. All right, well, let's think about going back to the beginning. Let's get you from the jump and let's get you caught up because now those things that you thought were cool are going to be so much cooler knowing the history behind it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's so true. Like it's cool how they like you built that in. So we got 5 issues through November 12th.
Okay.
November 12th is issue 5. So
that's usually where solicits are kind of chopped off right now anyway. So we're sitting pretty.
Oh yeah. But yeah, go check out Space Ghost, man. Great little indie treasure.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, Francesco Mattina. I think he's the artist who faced some AI accusations, isn't he? Isn't he one of those guys?
Was he the 6-fingered dude?
I think so. I think he was one of those guys.
Uh-oh.
He's got some bangers though, man. He did some bangers on that Deathstroke run I got though. I can't even front. I got some banger Mattina covers. So yeah.
Deathstroke's got 11 toes though.
Stay off it. Chill out, bro. Chill out. Stay off that AI though, man. Stay off that AI. Lau's art series is just crazy good. Hell yeah, Jay. It is.
Yeah.
Spectacular. Oh yeah. Oh, that's what's up, Jay.
Yeah. A little bit of inside baseball right there.
There you go. Yes. Check it out. Check out the first volume that just concluded. It's fantastic. Great primer.
More importantly, let us know what you thought too after you read it, man. I'm curious.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Station brother. Good to see you, man. You already knew what time it is. Yeah, same. It was just Adult Swim for me, but great series, man. Great sleeper. All right. Our third book of the night. We're going to end with a bang, folks. I'm going to let E take it away. I can't wait to talk about it. But before we get there, Batman Dark Patterns number 9, the end of the Pareidolia arc. This was fantastic. Basically, Bats is tied up the whole issue in front of this old man, this grandfather, and his grandchildren. the Red Hood gang, as it were, and we find out that, you know, through Bats's detective work all in front of this guy, you know, seeing that his weapon isn't cleaned and, you know, kept in check, like,
Yeah.
you know, just the knowledge of the Red Hood gang that he has and the history in the city, so that he breaks down this whole man's thing. And, you know, the Red Hood gang was nothing more. He was just trying to create the shadow, the fear of the Red Hood gang amongst this neighborhood, to, you know, compel people to be scared, essentially, to treat each other, you know, with kindness and you know, not with violence and criminal acts towards one another, right? So, you know, the whole issue is Bats basically, you know, tied up in front of this guy and his two grandchildren, figuring this out. Things get out of hand though when, you know, Bats continues to call his bluff. Hayden Sherman in these compositions, man. Come
I
on.
love that page, dude. I love that
Like,
freaking page.
I just stared at this one for a good couple minutes, man. It's just fantastic. I just love what he's doing here with his panels and the way he's just getting so weird with it and so radical with the page design. It's fantastic.
Dude, nobody does it like Hayden Sherman right now.
Seriously, just such inspired artwork. I love it. And high volume, like,
Yeah.
this and absolute. Anyway, so yeah, he calls old man's bluff. There's a struggle over this you know, old army rifle or whatever it was that, you know, he said he had used in World War I, but obviously was all rusty and not in good repair. And so it goes off, strikes his child. The old man has a heart attack, and it ends on a really somber note. It doesn't end with Batman saving the day.
No, that was brutal, dude. That was such a brutal moment in the issue. I didn't see it coming, and it hit me. Well, it hit me like I assume how Dan Waters wanted it to, because it's not a feel good issue of the month for sure.
Absolutely. And just like, you know, the kid, and it's so heartbreaking because the kid wants to do this thing for their grandfather, right? They want to prove their mettle and, you know, take that burden off of him. And dude, this page right here with him dying, I mean, God, I love that composition. It's just so gorgeous. And the color work.
You know, we're so used to seeing, you know, the heroes of our stories prevail and save the day and do the ultimate right deed, right? And it's like, this issue was not that at all. I mean, it was, you saw the villains kind of brought to justice, but nothing feels good about the way the things played out. Nothing.
So true.
Batman made a bunch of mistakes throughout the journey of investigating this.
Yes.
I like the notion of the entire 3-issue arc, though, being that it's finding patterns where patterns don't exist, right? And it's kind of almost like the notion of our eyes in the darkness finding shapes where shapes aren't there, right? That's the kind of what gives us the fear of the dark. And I like that they start the series or the arc, I should say, with Batman being kind of like the predominant person that is kind of, we'll say, suffering from that or dealing with that. It's the framing device of it. And I love how by the end of the arc, it's totally been flipped on its head here. And it's really the leader of the Red Hood gang and the grandchildren who are really doing that, right? He, like, you know, the perception of who this leader is and who he really is to the neighborhood and to what's the name of the place within Gotham City? What is it? Is it the Bowery? Am I tripping?
No, no, it's not the Bowery, but it's not the Narrows, is it?
No, I don't think so
No.
either. Yeah, but I love that how it's flipped on its head, though, and it's really, you know, how they're perceiving what they are doing for you know, for their neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, dude, like you are misconceiving the entire thing as well. So it's a great play on the premise, because it's not just about Batman. It's really about every single one of our main players that we're dealing with within the arc. And like, just chef's kiss,
Dude,
Dan
and
Waters.
the way he brought it all, the way they brought it all together here at the end with comes out, the kid's on the stoop, you know, I heard a gunshot go off, and he's like, don't go up there, wait for the police. And he's walking away, and he's like, I'm sorry, I should never have come here. And like the kid's just looking at him. And it's brutal, right? And it's like, seems like such a hard goodbye. And then there's like that great shot Sherman has of the Batmobile, it's just silent page of the Batmobile driving home. And then
he draws a great Batmobile, by the way.
Oh my God. beautiful.
Such a good Batmobile.
Beautiful. And then like this, we get this page here with the kid there on the steps. Sad. These goons are coming up on him with a knife, and we see Bats is kind of like rig this thing up to look like him in the shadows. These guys see it and run away, and I just thought that was a brilliant way. Hold on, I have the last page here. It's just a brilliant way to tie it all together, man. Where he's and it's like it all plays into like the year one, the early Batman element of this whole series, where he's learning like where am I going too hard? Where's like this was obviously too much, right? I was way too abrasive here. I need to find like where I fit in and where I and learn like this guy was essentially trying to do the same thing I did, install fear and and whatever, and try to make and compel people to act good when and obviously this is not the way to go about that. So I need to rethink my approach here. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, it's been one of my favorite things for throughout this entire limited series is like it's an imperfect Batman. Excuse me, and it's an imperfect Bruce Wayne. So I mean that's my kind of Batman story. I don't lean on the perfection ones too heavy because it kind of gets boring, to be honest. Like if you're always 10 steps ahead, well, like what is anyone really going to do, right? You got to get really inventive when that kind of thing happens, and not everyone can tell that kind of story. But when Batman can screw up, when Batman is imperfect, oh, there's a plethora of things, man. It's a gold mine.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Do you like what's been your favorite part of this series so far? Like I Sherman's artwork, but like as far as like the Batman and like the this Batman and this world, what's been your favorite part of like the this particular version of the character for you?
Just Batman or the entire series?
Just anybody. The entire series, the series at large. It could be like a supporting player or
the drip of drool that comes down the coroner's mouth every single time he is on panel. It's so gross, and that character is so friggin' creepy. And we got it right from the jump where Batman's like, who is this guy? Like, are you serious, Gordon? This is the guy you're bringing? Like, you trust this one? All right.
He's got huffing formaldehyde in the corner, man. What are you doing?
Exactly. How about you, though?
That's a great call. Creepy Dodger's been the best. I think it's been the for me, it's been the overall weirdness of these tales and just the series at large. As a kid growing up, the Batman I fell in love with was some strange ass Batman. You know what I mean? It's like all those Gotham Knights, Shadow of the Bat, the Last Arkham, just a lot of those Alan Grant, Norm Brayfogle, bizarre Batman stories were some of my favorites growing up. So it's great to see the weird brought back to Batman in a fantastically rendered way and written way from both of these creators. So that's been my favorite part of the series.
And the nice thing, right, about what we talked about earlier being that this is a younger Batman early in his career, and with what you're talking about, the weird Batman, I think both of those, generally speaking, lean more towards a street level Batman. And again, like we talk about the perfect Batman, like the dude that took on the JLA, the guy that can go toe to toe with Superman under the right circumstances, like that's what makes these so special. I think that Batman as a character functions so much better as a street level hero as opposed to being the guy that can free fall from space and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. So
True.
Yeah, I like that stuff. I love this stuff though.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, bro. Like this one, you don't know if he can make a building jump, one to the next, like in Jeff Johns' Earth One Bat. You know what I mean? Like that's what I love about it. So definitely. But another fantastic book. We got 10, 11, and 12, folks, before this series is over with. So check it out in singles or in collected form. Hopefully the collected form is glorious. We get all sort of Hayden Sherman goodies and black and white. Man, I'd love to see just have a bunch of his line work in black and white. But yeah, incredible book.
Dude, I feel like, there's a certain podcast out there that has become famous for saying the phrase interpolation. And I feel like we're going to become the podcast that becomes famous for saying artist edition. I would love to see an artist edition of this freaking story, man.
Facts. But I really appreciate what they're doing with the noir editions and stuff. You know what I mean? They are making an effort.
One issue though?
Marvel with no, I thought they did more than one issue though.
Well, I'm only looking at Batman and Robin Year One is my most recent example, and that only got one. That was one and done, if my memory is correct.
Yeah, I guess what I mean is they've done it for a bunch of different series. Like they did it for Wonder Woman and Absolute Batman. Okay,
that's fine.
But warm on it. Okay,
give it to me, all of it.
Yeah,
all of it.
Seriously, it's incredible. Yeah, another great book. All right,
yeah,
it's time. It's time to talk about it, bro.
Well, you prep that up here. I know the chat has been popping off.
Oh yeah, you're
Let
right.
me you watch that stuff. I'll watch the chat here. We got Bob saying Dark Pattern, such a crazy, awesome ride. I love seeing the dude. Okay, great call, Bob. First of all, anything Ashley Wood like gets my vote. Great, so good. But yeah, I love seeing their work on, and not just Dark Patterns, but like they've been doing things for like Detective Comics and a lot of Batman, basically. I think they might have had a Superman book that came out too, if I'm not mistaken. We got
Wait, for real?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I showcased it on one of our covers of the week here. So go back, watch every single episode, and someone in the chat, you let me know where it was that I did that.
Yeah, you always got to the Ashley Woods before I did, you dirty bastard.
I know. I'm terrible about that. Simpleton, I don't think we said what up to you, man. Nice seeing you. Can't wait for the Batman Dark Patterns Collected Edition, dude. Lucky for you, the only thing that you need to wait for is all the issues to come out, because Lord knows you'll have one before, DC puts one out. So wanted to shout out Omega here for the Rookery. Yes, we were close. We were close, but
what a great name for a Gotham neighborhood.
Can we just shout out Omega, by the way? I feel like he's swooped in and saved our ass a couple different times at this
he's
point.
Always there.
When we're like,
he's always
there
thing? With it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing and the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. We got Rooster Blue hanging with us. It's okay. You never missed anything, because lucky for you, we're on the YouTubes here, man, and it's gonna be here for a little bit. So catch the rewind. Yeah, but we appreciate you being here, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got Omega saying anytime he's chatting with Gordon, that creepy doctor dude, man, he's nasty. And Omega saying, the colors. Tríona Farrell? I think that's who it was that was coloring this one. Yeah. The colors, and not only the colors, but the lettering on this book. I mean, the whole team is doing really, really fantastic stuff. I think that this is a team firing on all cylinders together.
The coloring in this one right here, get out of town. So good.
Yeah, Tríona Farrell is the colorist, and then Frank Cvetkovic on letters. Good stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right, what's the last issue that we got to talk about here?
I'm throwing you this alley-oop, man. Let's talk about it.
Come on, I'm ready for a slam dunk. Power Fantasy, let's go. Yes, issue number 11.
The end
Power Fantasy.
The end of the arc, folks.
This is the end of the arc, and boy, did they go out in a big bad way. Written by Kieran Gillen, artwork by Casper Wingard. The premise of this book, what we've been talking about, or what I should say Kieran has been talking about, is that if any of these superheroes fight, we all die, basically. That's the landscape of this world. There are people with superpowers. They are not superheroes. There is an uneasy balance between society, the world, and these individuals that actually have these powers. They measure their strength and the ability of powers by how many kills they can make within a second. That shows the scope of what we're dealing with here. So while they can't fight, that doesn't mean that they can't die, and that doesn't mean that there are not plots that can be put out to maybe take one of these players off of the game board. And that's exactly what we deal with here. So they are basically trying to, there's been a revelation that one of the supers has a son. And while they all can have, children, it's not a guaranteed thing. It's not hereditary that if you could pass down your power or a different power to a child. So if they have children, not a big deal. There's no guarantee. So there's nothing too big to worry about. Problem is that one of them does. And that child that he has definitely has powers. So now they're trying to pull everyone back together at this point to have a discussion, bring all the players back to the table and say, okay, everything's out on the board now. We know everything about everyone. Let's try to figure this whole uneasy situation out. And when I say uneasy alliances, that is like the tamest way to put this. Nobody likes anybody. You're either in this faction, or that faction. And if you ain't with them, like, you don't mess with the other ones, right? But they keep everyone in check. Before we kind of dive into maybe the machinations of what happens here, Stu, you're team heavy. You've been team heavy since day one, dude. How do you feel about the fact that heavy is really the catalyst for this whole culmination, like this meeting happening?
Well, first of all, I love the reveal of I forget the girl's name who'd been up there, but like Etienne finally lets him know that he had planted the impulse in her mind to tell him what is going on up there, like every night when she's asleep or something like that. You know what I mean?
My God, yeah.
And that great reveal, that was fantastic. Heavy's
that was like a couple issues back, right?
No, that happened in this one. At the beginning of this one.
But didn't we get that revelation before when she was on the computer late at night in Heavy's place feeding him info?
Yes, we got that. Yeah, we did get it. Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, okay.
Several issues prior, but it was cool to see, and I love that. Wingard had the panel. It was like from the outside, and you just saw her say, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
super pissed out that she found out that she's essentially been a spy for Etienne against her will, which is mad. Like that's wow, bro.
You could argue that's a little bit unethical.
Exactly. we gotta get that on the t-shirts. We need Power Fantasy t-shirts with like quotes from all these guys.
Oh my God, Kieran, if you're listening, come on.
But adored this sequence, man. Also on edge, right? Because it definitely was before what ended up happening. It looked like it was not good for Heavy's son here, and it looked like his future was not too bright or long lived. But I love this descent. They're all meeting in the stadium in Sydney, Australia, and Valentina here with the cake. Hey, birthday boy! I'm not fucking 6.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments of the book right here, bro.
Valentina is a very pure character, man. As a Superman archetype, she really, really fits that bill in a great way. Yeah, but perfect response.
I just love it, like when her and Etienne show up first, and she's looking for everybody to show up, and she looks up and she spots Heavy, and she just there's that little moment she tells Etienne, she's like, "You can use my eyes," she just gives him permission, just their balance, like that conversation, at the beginning of issue 1 set the tone for this series and was so brilliant, and it's just. I don't know. Those two have it's crazy. It's kind of cool to see them here together at the end. Maybe
I feel like Etienne had this feeling like if anyone were to be able to take him out, it was gonna be Valentina. So it was great that those two were at least buddied up a little bit, and I think that gave him a little sense of security.
Yeah, but he was still worried about our girl, Mrs. Hellbound. Mrs. Eliza, so, and rightfully so. We're trying to find out what side of the fence she's on, but yeah, our boy Magus, or who we think is Magus, right? Plants the what were these called? They had some shadow suits. All the shadow suits go in there and plant these basically these psychic a psychic prison for Etienne, right? They're gonna lock him in there. They're going to off him, and then they're going to contain the immense psychic blast that's going to come from this guy's death, right? Because he's like Omega level, is putting it lightly, for this guy's power level.
Oh yeah, he's basically the Charles Xavier of this universe. Meaning that like he basically has like a
On a
like a
cosmic scale almost. It's
yeah,
crazy.
he's got a kill switch though. Like if he dies, it lets off this
Right.
telekinetic blast that is going to kill everyone, which is basically his way of saying, come at me. I dare you.
So it's beautiful how they put this together. They're gonna set it up in the stadium. They, get Magus' guys to go in and, plan all these things around the stadium to basically set up this psychic cell, as it were. But they still have to close the roof, and I just loved like how
Yes.
all these moving parts have to come together for them to trap Etienne.
Yeah, I love the way that they really framed this issue because it felt very Ocean's 11 to me. Whereas we get to spend a lot of time with the people who are already at the stadium, and we get to see the Thanksgiving dinner that is all of those, attitudes and
Yeah,
emotions kind of coming to be. But all the while, then we get to spend time with Dev under the guise of being Magus and Eliza as they basically speak out their plan, and they're saying, all right, it's going through the heist. This is how it all goes down. And they explain it, and then you see it happen in real time, and they explain it. And yeah, you're right. It all hinges. They can surround everything around it, but if that roof doesn't close, the game's over. It's done.
yeah,
And I love that Casper has that panel where they talk about it, and you see the panels start to close up on top. And immediately, even as a reader, you go, oh shit. Like it's
yeah,
happening. It's
yeah, yeah.
really happening.
Like, and I love how like the kids like it's ridiculous that we're superpowers, so we have to get rained on and all this shit. Like each of them, and Magus is agreeing, or Magus. Is it Magus or Magus?
I say Magus, but
Magus.
tomatoes,
Yeah,
tomatoes.
yeah. Is agreeing, and then like just the word of it, and like about like Valentina's like, oh, this is fun. It closes. It closes now. Like so oblivious. Like you said, dude, so pure hearted. Um, dude. So everything goes right for the setup, right? We got our kill shot lined up. Our boy calls in his girl, and man, does she show up. How did you think about what did you think about this scene and Eliza's approach?
Dude, I had the same reaction as I do like watching like a great end cap for like a television show. Like when I think of the moment where Walter White shows up to save Jesse Pinkman, and the machine gun pops out of the back of the car.
Yes,
That's the feeling I had with this issue. It was the exact same kind of like resonance that I had there. I got like goosebump inducing kind of thing. This was an awesome issue. If you've been
our girl had her
along,
battle armor on too, right?
oh
Like
yeah, she wasn't messing
she came
around.
for war, bro. And let's just get to it. Come on, does it get any better than that? Like to
Yeah,
me, the best spread of the series so far. Everything you could have wanted. Such an epic climax. Our boy gets freaking atomized. Like it's
did
crazy.
did you feel even a tinge of sadness for him getting got though? Because I
Nah,
didn't.
nah,
This is the
not at
same
all.
dude that's been manipulating her, that has been acting as the voice of God to make her repent, to like manipulate her in this in arguably even a worse way than the journalist, right? Like the character that's been with Heavy.
Yeah.
Like, no, this was justified,
I
right?
thought like one of the most powerful moments of the comic is right after this. Like everybody's just like, "What the fuck?" After it, and she's like, "Finally, we're free," and it just felt so justified and so real, and like
Yep.
something you couldn't argue with. Like you said, particularly when it comes to her, man, he's been in her head fucking around for so long. Like this was long overdue. He's been a fucker since Jump Street, and he's like really. I don't know. I feel like he's the guy who started off with a little and just like really kind of stacked his pot and got
Yeah.
to a point where he was a little bit too powerful for his own good. But here's the thing: he's not dead.
Nope.
He's
That was
not dead,
wild,
bro.
dude.
Holy shit! The fucking here we go having a conversation with the waitress about you know they think they kill like having a hypothetical conversation with this waitress at this diner. My friends or people I know, whatever, think they killed me, but I'm still out here. You know, the waitress is like an eye for an eye. If you're asking me, I'd wipe them
Yeah.
off the face of the earth. you know, and then what is his response? But that would be unethical. Like, dude. So like he sent in like a psychic dummy or body double or something like that, which like I was trying to find. The thing was I was trying to find the graphic. I know he didn't he do this in an earlier issue where he was switching bodies or something like that, mentally or psychically or something like that.
I think he may have spoken through other people.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Omega again, Omega, the ultimate fact checker here. Back in issue number 2, Aetion tells Masumi, I can psychically control people. That includes myself, which makes me wonder: is the Aetion that we knew throughout the entire series? Maybe that was a dummy. Maybe that was just someone, maybe he's been playing the long game this entire time. There's so many different ways we can look at this, man. But power fantasy.
Seriously, great killer last page. Great way to send us into the hiatus until we return for round 2. But I know they got plans for this, and I really am so excited to see what they do and to see Gillen's story structure. And it was just dope. Did you read the all the goodies in the back of this one about him? You know,
dude,
right? Like,
yeah, you're reading my mind. Yes,
planning that graphic and that infographic and how that should look and how I want to represent these different, all these different superpowers, I guess, sensitivity or vulnerability to Etienne and his powers. It was like, I love shit like that. And this book has done like the pyramid issue where they had the breakdown of how all that works. And even in not either this issue or no, I think it was in the past one when they were kind of focusing on what happened when the Magus they switched identities or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how many bodies or how many pyramid members they were going through per second, trying to keep that. Like, it was just crazy, man. I just love the scale of it. And it's so well done and structured. And I really trust the vision that they have for this. So I'm so excited to see where it goes because it just feels so realized and such a like a fully delivered thing from Gillen and Wingard, dude. But this has been such a joy. So I got to shout out you, bro, because I wouldn't be here talking about it here at the end of the first arc if it wasn't for you. So thank you for putting me on. And yeah, I'm glad we're talking about it. We were just going to stop at 3 books tonight, but I had to throw this one on as the cleanup hitter, as it were, because rightfully so. This was a hell of an issue. I mean, dude, this right here was everything I wanted. Come on, we all. I feel like that was all of us were a little bit happy when it happened. So anyway, shout out your team though in the comment, guys. I saw Omega's team Valentina. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, go for it. Yeah, continue.
Team Eliza. I know our boys Team Eliza. Oh yeah. He's got the Danny cover. He's all in now. He's all in. Dude, she's amazing. I think she's gonna I don't know. I think we still got
to see more of it is Masumi that is the one that can basically become like this kaiju, right? Is that
Yes, I need to see that in action. Good call.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be terrible for this world if it comes to fruition, but like, it's the smoking gun now. Like, come on, I want to see it.
I loved her introduction too because I went back and I was reading issue 1 today, trying to find that moment. It was after they took that shot at Heavy. And and Etienne's going around the horn telling everybody like, yo, I'm about to strike back, kill the president. I'm just letting you know what's going on. And he contacts Masumi and she's like, is it going to make me upset? And he's like, yeah, this will likely make you upset. And she's like, then I don't want to know about it or whatever. Like, yeah. So it's like we have that trigger there, but we've never seen her get angry and transform. So I want to see that.
Gee, I wonder if Etienne, knowing what triggers her, will use that to his advantage.
Well, dude, here's my thing. On the power level we're talking about for some of these folks, is a kaiju really a problem? Like,
dude, we don't know. Maybe. How powerful is that kaiju? Like, I mean,
you're right. It could be like the one from Watchmen that's got like psychic, like the giant psychic squid or whatever the hell it was. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
now you're setting expectations, and now I want that to happen. Gosh darn it!
just wipes out everybody in Manhattan or some shit. So, yeah.
But unites the world, right?
Yes, of course. We come together in the face of adversity.
Yeah. Ozymandias was right. Hashtag there.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. Dude had some serious stuff. Although I like Heavy though. Heavy's just like no shirt and sweatpants. Like, what do you want from me?
Heavy's chill until he's not chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, dude. For sure. So looking forward to, I guess, what character are you looking forward to seeing, more of in round 2?
I want to see all of them. I feel like if we come back, we're probably going to get a little bit of a time jump. Maybe I'm wrong, but I want to see the state of the world. They think that this is a great thing that happened. They said, we're free now. We don't have this guy over our backs. Well, if you're free, what happens with that balancing act, right? Because it's not going to be a pretty picture. There's a power vacuum now, or at least a perceived power vacuum. And I rest assured, anytime that happens, every single one of them is going to try to make a power play, right? And shit is going to go sideways.
It's going to be wild. I love the precariousness of it, and like how it's all eggshells. You know what I mean? And shit can go sideways in the biggest way, like so quickly. It's fantastic.
Yep.
But like Etienne said at the beginning of that first issue, after Heavy, he's sitting with that journalist, and Heavy gets attacked, and she's like, "Are we safe?" And he's like, 6 people in the world have, superpowers. No, nobody's safe.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, bro. Comics and Futures Past tonight before we get to our covers of the week, man. I love this selection, brother. I got to say, I saw this when I was loading up the slides. This just made me happy, man. So talk to me.
Yeah, there were a couple bangers.
Is that an all-red cover?
No, I believe that's still Derek Robertson.
That's it? Okay.
I think so, yeah. But there was a couple different issues I could have chosen from, which is a great problem to have. But like this one really stood out, and I feel like I was really influenced by our conversation when we were talking about the British invasion, because Warren Ellis, Vertigo Comics, talking Transmetropolitan #2, released on August 13th, 1997, which is, for me personally, it's such a crazy thing to think about, because 1997 still doesn't feel like it was so long ago, even though we're talking almost 30 years ago at this point. It feels so fresh and so timely and so real. The character of Spider Jerusalem and the world that's built out in Transmetropolitan by Warren Ellis is just freaking glorious. We get the introduction of his three-headed cat in here as well. It was really, there's not this, normally I try to showcase an issue that has like some big wild moments or there's some history behind it. I can't say that there's a lot of history behind it besides the fact that it's only issue #2, but I feel like Transmetropolitan deserves a spotlight on it, just for the zaniness. I feel like we haven't gotten a series that has been like this since this came out. And if you look even back, I don't feel like there's a heck of a lot of series that fit the mold of what this is, with Spider Jerusalem being the Gonzo-esque, like futuristic version of a Hunter S. Thompson character, this journalist in the future who's dealing with all of these things that are happening. The storyline in here, it's kind of cool. He's kind of meeting up with one of his extraterrestrial partners that he had teamed up with in the past sometime. They're reintroduced, and we find out that basically these Martians are falling on hard times, and they're really selling themselves off as body modifications in this futuristic realm where people are modding themselves in that cyberpunky kind of way that you would anticipate. And it really sets the stage for future things that are going to be happening here too within the series, because it goes so far beyond these hybrid Martian human beings here when we talk about body mods. Like, we get into the ethereal, we get into the leaving your corporeal being and becoming this gaseous being, right? As later on, it's a wild series filled with big ideas explored through the eyes of a complete bastard,
Yes.
Spider Jerusalem.
Yes.
Transmetropolitan is something that if you're into the weird, into the wild, with a very British sense of humor and tinge to it, Transmetropolitan might be for you, and I would encourage you to check it out. I think it's a glorious series. Number 2 definitely stood out to me, though, so that was my Comics of Futures Past for this week.
Great pick, brother. Great pick.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Was the mic sounding messed up? Does it sound better now?
Beautiful.
Okay, hell yeah. All right, let's get to our covers of the week. E, talk to me, bro. Is this Fornes? Did you
It
get
is,
the Fornes?
yes. You know Jorge Fornes when you see it, dude. Batman and Robin variant cover, Jorge Fornes. The simplicity of this cover is really what makes it shine for me. We get Wayne Towers, we get Gotham City, we get the silhouettes of the characters within the grasp of the villainous hand here with the eyes in the background. Get this man on Daredevil, please. Sobalski, if you're listening, I know you are. You watch. I know you watch. Get this man on Daredevil, please. For me, thank you. We talked about it before. Space Ghost, coast to coast.
Brilliant. Who did this?
Right, dude. That's Alex Ross, man. The Alex Ross cover. There's a couple variations of this. There's this version, the Virgin variant, the negative cover. Again, it's Dynamite here. I'm a trade dress fan personally. Every once in a while, I like a Virgin cover, but the trade dress really kind of makes it for me. I really like that being on the cover. So I wanted to showcase Alex Ross's trade dress version of cover.
Space Ghost has got some great font going on too.
It does. It really does, man. The design on that is just so freaking dope.
It is. Looks great.
Yeah. Tula Lote. Dude, am I smitten? Yes, I am. Tula Lote.
She's fantastic.
Dude, doing such good work here, man. In fact, Omega was showcasing her variant cover for This Ends Tonight issue number 2, and it had me feeling the FOMO because I was like, oh man, that looks really freaking good. But we talked about Superman Kryptonite Spectrum here. It was only right to showcase that as well for a fantastic book with another fantastic cover by Tula.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I believe this is my last one here, but I feel bad because I dropped Miles Morales Spider-Man, a good long time ago. And it was one of those series that were just plagued by event fatigue. Every 3 issues we were dealing with a tie-in. But I got to say, the early parts of that series, written by Cody Ziegler with artwork by Federico Vincentini, really did it for me. And when I saw that they were doing the cover for Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 3, it got me in the feels a little bit. I was like, you know what? That was pretty dope back in the day. And I really wish that they could have kept that pace without, having the speed bumps and potholes of events. Because I think that they were cooking with gas for a little bit. And this just made me get back to that feeling a little bit. So I wanted to showcase that one.
I think that's Simone DeMeo.
Is that Simone DeMeo?
Yeah, I think that's Simone DeMeo.
Darn it. Okay, well, whatever. It had the vibes.
It's fire. I love the lighting down there at the bottom.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope looking one way or another.
Is that his Venom Blast powering up, I guess?
It must be, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I wish the series was as good as that.
Amen to that Miles series, man. That was really fun for a while until it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of Alex Ross, guys, hold on.
What, you showing off?
If we had to, well, this is taking longer than I thought it would go. It's in here somewhere, I promise. Had to grab this one. Shout out to Nick for putting it on my radar, honestly. But yeah, dude, the reprint of the Harley Quinn, the Paul Dini series, but this was just gorgeous, dude. I had to throw this one up, and I had to grab it in the store when I saw it. So, yeah, shout out to Nick for putting me on. Andreas Torrentino doing Red Skull. This is beautiful. I love it.
Vicious looking, dude.
Yeah, love the shadows. Love like the one eyeball, being lit. It's just beautiful work.
Dude, like not to take a total tangent, still Sorrentino related, but do you happen to subscribe to Jeff Lemire's Substack or a newsletter or whatever?
I do not.
I was a big fan of the series that they were working on, where they were coming out with different volumes of it recently. It kind of came off of the heels of Gideon Falls. And I found out that they're not coming back with that.
What?
Yeah, it's done. It's they had a whole world that was created, and they were gonna explore all these different things. Still, it's a done deal, man. I was
Why?
so sales. I think that because of the differing ways that they were releasing them, some of them were like like the small hardbound books, kind of like what they were doing with like Reckless from
Mhm.
Brubaker and Phillips, and then they went to like a large hardcover, and then some of them were floppies, and I think that sales weren't there because there wasn't any consistency between what it is that they were putting out.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I was so bummed by that because I think that team and that storyline was so good, man. But I say it because this cover looks fire and that
Are you
red
talking
book.
about just what's it called? I'm sorry, you just said Gideon Falls? Are you just talking about that one?
Yeah, well, no, not Gideon Falls. It was the one that came after. It was the Bone Orchard
Oh,
Tenement.
the Tenement. So Tenement as a whole is getting scrapped?
Yeah, everything. What we've gotten is all we'll get. It's done.
Dang. What was your
I know.
favorite one?
Oh, that the first one, the introduction was really good with the
Right, the
lighthouse.
lighthouse. The
Yeah,
lighthouse was so dope.
yeah, but I enjoyed every single one. In fact, the last one was really good too, where you had all the people within the apartment building.
Sorrentino was on his shit, dude.
It was all fire, man. That team, like I enjoy every single thing that they put out,
From
and it's
covers
really
to interiors, like I felt like Sorrentino was doing some inspired work there. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Anyway, sorry to bring it down now, but hey, you're the one that chose this cover, so I blame you
No, it's just
partially.
that it just makes me sad too because it's like I feel like in the future creators will look or not creators, editors or publishers will look at that if that creative team's back together, and that will be a strike against them. You know what I mean? I
Maybe,
don't know.
but Lemire still
They're
sells
such a great,
books.
yeah,
Yeah,
facts. They're such a great team.
it is. Yeah,
Hope to see more of them together soon in the future.
yeah,
But
same.
yeah, shout out to them both. Incredible, incredible creators. Dude, Michael Walsh doing Carnage. Yes, please. I'm here for these like Michael Walsh Marvel horror covers that he's been doing.
I'd be here for
So
Michael Walsh Marvel book. We talked about this before, though. Just saying,
I know,
Marvel
bro.
CB.
Don't do that. Don't give him that game.
I'm just saying, I'll pull in all the favors.
Yeah, Bone Orchard. Those Simpleton for his favorite. Hell yeah. There you go, Omega.
Zula.
Dang.
Man, well, I hope, yeah. I hope that they find a way to revisit it because
Same.
I mean, I like those creepy atmospheric horror books. I feel like
I
they
do
do so much
too.
better than like just the gore fest kind of books.
Yeah, there were some great moments in that
Yeah.
latest one too. I just wanted to shout out Jorge Corona, man. Yeah, I thought you said this really well in your review of the latest issue of Transformers, but you know, his aesthetic coming on after Daniel Warren Johnson has really carried this book in more ways than one. And I think, you know, he's really anchored it in a way that can't be overstated. And I just
Mhm.
wanted to celebrate his art here. He's done incredible variants, I think, for most of his time on interiors as well. He's done
Yeah.
incredible variant cover Bs. But just incredible job keeping this book alive, keeping it vibrant, and making it sing, and really bringing home the vision. And I just can't wait to see where they end up here in this next issue we have coming out. It's bittersweet that we're finally here, but this has been an incredible ride, man. One of the biggest comic book events of our generation. It's just been a joy to see. Incredible what they've done with the Kickstarter, raising what over $4 million. Like,
Dude,
they've
that's insane, by the
they've
way.
completely electrified and transformed this property, like pun intended. So, yeah, shout out to Jorge, shout out to Daniel, shout out to Kirkman, shout out to Skybound, everybody involved. Spicer, killing the covers or
Dude,
colors.
yeah.
Man.
Well,
Dude,
Spicer's the unsung hero on this because he's the glue
yes,
that makes everything with these art changes. Even though the art changes are not as drastic as anyone anticipated, but he's the consistency behind all of it that makes it all sing.
yeah. But I can't wait to cry, dude. Another Daniel Warren Johnson finale, another time to cry on a comic book. It's the best.
Oh man, yeah. Well, we'll see, man. I'm very curious because they're playing up Ultra Magnus a lot. We know, people that grew up in the '80s, they kind of know how the movie plays out. I don't know. There's something is going to happen that no one is anticipating, and I'm like similar to issue number 1 with Bumblebee, right? Something's going to happen that no one thinks is going to happen.
Oh yeah, can't wait. Little switch up, little thirst trap tonight. This is Rose Besh, dude, doing Invisible Woman number, or not Invisible Woman, Invisible Woman variant for FF number 2. I just love this, man. I love the flowers behind it, the colors. This was just fantastic, and I love blending her power in with it. So I hear Rose's name a lot among people who's thirst trap or covers with women is kind of their thing, and she's killing it. So definitely an artist to keep an eye out for, but I just thought this was brilliant. Great color work at the end of the day.
Yeah, good composition is good composition. It's going to trump everything, every single time, right? If you put out a banger cover, like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And dude, last but certainly not least, it is fucking Penosian time.
Yes.
I forget who shouted this one out in the chat last week. Thanks to you, because it was on my radar. Danny Boy coming through and killing this variant for Predator Kills the Marvel Universe. Absolutely insane with the spider webs all over him and stuff like that. I just love it. Incredible, dude. And did you see the look for number 2 of the Punisher series? By the way, I commented it's Penosian time on his IG post, and he liked it. So he definitely watches the show.
If anyone knows it's Penosian time, it's Dan Penosian. So heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the rendering on that picture, though, man. Like we've seen a lot of Predator recently.
It's insane.
I hear that clicking noise that they make by looking at that picture, though, man. Like that's
look at the eye, like the eye. It's so good, so fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, I can't wait to see him on Punisher. Shout out to Dan, one of the best doing it.
Heck yeah.
All right, bro. What you psyched for this week, man?
Ooh, some sneaky
great books.
Yeah. Sneaky bangers, man. There's some good stuff here. We talk about Batman and Robin a lot. That one is definitely high on my list.
Yes.
Let's see here. Okay, so you put me on to Poison Ivy, so thank you for that. G. Willow Wilson is writing Black Cat.
Oh, shit. What?
Yes.
Oh,
if you told me a Black Cat book was coming out, I was going to be like, okay, it's a new number 1. Maybe I'll read it. You say G. Willow Wilson's writing it, and immediately I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to figure out a way. Yeah, right. So that one's got me pumped. Let's see here. The Seasons has been a very charming book, and it's such a good change of pace book, because when you read as many books as we do each week, you need a palate cleanser kind of book to where you're like, okay, dark heavy. Seasons, find something different a change of pace to kind of reinvigorate, the comic book love. Other than that, I'll kind of wrap it up with Wild Animals 2. I really enjoyed Wild Animals number 1. I had a heck of a time. Awesome. Brisson, I think Brisson is a name that's known, but not necessarily heralded. And when it comes to his crime work, it's so good. It fits the bill so well. So I can't wait to dive into that one. But what about you, man?
Yeah, I feel like Ed's a great writer if people just give him a shot. I feel like so often he gets jobs on series and they just lose faith, so quickly. But I love the Sins of Salton Sea from him.
That was great. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shout out Ed. Great writer. Dude, Escape number 1 from Remender and Daniel Acuna is a banger. I've read the first 2 issues. Got the shout out to homie Nick. Got to get an early sneak peek at those. They're incredible. Acuna doing some amazing artwork in that. I love that world. Remender with another banger. What can you say?
Yeah, dude.
Enough said. Go check that one out. It's awesome. Number 1. Number 2 is solid too. I've fallen off Exquisite Corpses, guys. Should I get back on that horse? Let me know. Battle Beast number 4, I'm excited for. Absolute Batman, definitely gonna give it a shot. Clayman on that, but excited to read and possibly talk about that one. I'm excited to get to Imperial. I haven't gotten to that one. I heard some friends of mine having some interesting things to say about it in the back chat. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, catch my weekly comic book reviews every single Sunday morning. Imperial was a book. It was a book.
Yeah. I think that's about it, man. Ghost Pepper, definitely. I think you already mentioned that. And then I can't. Wild Animals was number one. Was a delight, pleasant surprise. So hopefully number 2 can keep that wild ass raucous energy that number 1 had.
Yes, exactly.
All right, man. Well, that'll do it for us this week, guys. We had such a great chat all weekend. I mean, not all weekend. I mean, all week, both across both shows, Tuesday and Wednesday. Sorry, guys. This is my weekend, so about to go back to work tomorrow. But it's always great, spending these days off and these shows with you guys and the chat, and talking comic books, talking these books we love, and all the minutiae and all the details. It's great. You guys have such great taste and sensibilities out there. So it's a joy hanging with y'all each and every week. So thank everybody for coming through. Bob. Oh, dude, I got to check out that one. I heard good things about that from somebody else. Was saying.
Is that's the Tony Fleek's book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely here for that. I love a good Ben Grimm story. Always a sucker for that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, dude, get your FOMO. I'm telling you, bro. You grab it. It's solid. Seasons is super layered storytelling. Can't believe I almost dropped it. Yeah. Hell yeah. Both great books, dude. Remender's killing it.
I know. I'm almost afraid to dive into Escape because my hype is like at an 11 right now, and I'm like, oh my god, I think I'm going to save it for the last thing that I read all week.
That's right. And we got Dan. It's Dan Waters and Bill Sienkiewicz together on the story and detective. So that's insanity. Yeah, dude.
Insanity. All right, I'll make time for that.
I know. Absolutely. Definitely here for that. But thank all y'all for coming through. Bob, Rooster, Omega, Jay from Hydra Asylum Comics, Nick from Comic Culture, Fable from One Collection Down, Simpleton, Pete from Most Dope, Edson, Christina, Fizzo, Gabriel, thank all you, Bobo and Zero. Make sure you get in touch with E and get him your information so you can claim your prize, brother. But yeah, check us out, gang. Patreon.com/Insights. You can get previews of all of our upcoming content across both of these channels. And then check us out, Dr. James Fan Club on IG and YouTube, 9-Panel Grid on IG and YouTube as well, spelled out NINE on IG, and then he's on Blue Sky as well, which I think, we need to make Blue Sky a thing, man. We need to get artists comfortable promoting their own thing on there. So I'm going to try to get an account. I was thinking about that the other day. Try to get
the art. Yeah, the comic scene is pretty robust over on Blue Sky. I'll say that much. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about Aaron Campbell being over there and such. So. And then check out Nick at Comic Culture on YouTube, and then Nick _comic_ culture on IG. But thank all y'all for coming through. Hope you all have a beautiful week. Check us out next Tuesday. What's our topic for next Tuesday night, bro?
Next Tuesday is a little bit of a potpourri here. We're gonna talk about whatever we want to talk about here. A little bit of news, a little bit of chit chat, a little bit of interacting with all you wonderful people in the chat here. A little bit loosey goosey, but I think we're gonna have a good time.
I love it. Hell yeah. Well, until next Tuesday night, we will see y'all then, station, and thank you all y'all for coming through and joining us.